What's up, everybody? Welcome to some more Real Talk Wednesday Night Talk special edition, Loki finale. I'm going to explain the Loki series with some spoilers. I'll let you know when the spoiler alert is about to happen. If you're new to the channel, please make sure you bang that bell and hit that like and thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff. Because I'm telling you, you're going to get a lot of knowledge, a lot of information, and you're going to have a lot of good times on this episode. And you're going to want to make sure you don't miss any in the future. So I appreciate it. And of course, it costs you nothing. So I really appreciate the help and support. And now let's get into it. Loki season finale aired today on Disney Plus. It was a 6-episode mini series on Disney Plus. It's now the third series that Disney Plus has released. And now, after watching its completion, it was a home run. Disney Plus is on a roll, okay? They are doing some great things with their scripted series. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is amazing, okay? If you have not been watching this, what the hell are you doing? I mean, excellent actors, excellent stories, excellent sets, excellent costumes, special effects. I mean, WandaVision was a good series. Captain America, well, I keep calling him that, but Falcon and the Winter Soldier, little pigeon soldier, was actually pretty good series overall. And Loki, I mean, very good. And Loki is the first to get a renewal for a season 2. Okay, I'll kick it off with that article and I'll break it down before I start to get into some spoilers about the show and explain it. So, like they said, this is the first to get a renewal, Loki for season 2. Now, if you watched at the end of episode 6, they said Loki will return in season 2. And before I get into it, they're basically setting it up for the multiverse of madness with Doctor Strange, which leaves endless possibilities, including the what if storyline. I mean, hell, they could bring back Iron Man again. They can redo Captain America. They could do so many things, bring back so many, do so many timelines, this infinite possibilities, thanks to he who remains no longer remains. Anyway, hint, hint. The Loki series was very good, very good. They did a great job. And before I really get into it, let me just give a couple of you guys comments. Rashonda, what's up, girl? Thanks for being in there from the get-go waiting. I appreciate you waiting on the show to get started. Sally Ann, you are great as always. I appreciate your support. Shock G, what's up, Shock G? Appreciate you back. Hey, I'm glad you like the music. I try to change it up a little bit here and there. Loki gonna come off as one of the best shows of 2021. It is. And speaking of best shows, WandaVision got the most Emmys damn near out of any show. I think this that was just nominated, as well as Lovecraft Country, which we got 2 people from Lovecraft Country in Loki. That's great to see them get good jobs in the MCU. I'll get into that later. I mean, to work in the MCU, I would love to be a character in the MCU. That would be a dream job. Nevertheless, it's good to see 2 people from Lovecraft Country in Loki. That was pretty cool. Shock G, Coco, what's up, girl? How you doing? And they did do a great job. And you a DC Comics guy. And the truth be told, DC Comics has the most famous and popular comic book heroes of all time, but they keep messing up the story. They keep restarting it. They need to get somebody like Kevin Feige to oversee the entire ordeal from start to finish and keep uniformity. Everybody in the world knows who Superman is. Everybody has heard of Batman, damn near. Okay, Superman definitely. Batman, damn near. Okay, a lot of the characters in the MCU are a little more complicated. Everybody hasn't heard of them, but everybody has heard of Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman. But they messing it up. Now the Batman reboot does look pretty promising, so we'll see how that go. You say they set up Phase 4 well and Spider-Man 3 with the 3 Peters. For real. They got a Peter tingle. That little Peter is tingling, ain't it? But man, they set this up perfectly. And I love how they even tied in with the Black Widow movie. The end of that, what's going to happen with the next Hawkeye phase, as well as the MCU still has the What If cartoon coming out, as well as the She-Hulk and a couple other little series coming out as well. I will break that down before we get up out of here. And the MCU, hands down, is probably the greatest thing put together in cinematic, history. To put all of these movies and TV shows connected together is just it's an amazing feat, especially in such a short amount of time. And Loki has been renewed for a season 2. That is a fact. So yeah, you say, yeah, they ain't lying. They need to improve the DC. Yeah, they do. And stop restarting. Yeah, that Loki. I know that was some good news, Coco. I know how much you like Loki. They animated movies is way better than their live action. Yeah, for DC, that's very true. They can do the animation better than the live action. And what makes it so bad is they started off the live action genre with the Batman reboot in '89. And then it was really good with Jack and Michael Keaton. And then they ended up with what? Not even Val Kilmer. They had George Clooney and Arnold Schwarzenegger. And you think you're going to put me back into the cooler? I mean, come on. Anyway, Loki has to tell his freedom is alive. Bow to me. Right. That's a line from the Avengers first one. So anyway, yeah, DC got the best characters, but they can't frame them right, and they messing up. If they go the route of the Joker movie and keep it as real as they did with Joker with Joaquin Phoenix and start it over from there, oh wow, they may be on to something. Joker is the most popular villain. So they could do something. They got the most popular characters, but they need to get it together. So yeah. Anyway, you say they set the movies and TV shows up together well. I mean, excellent. Jack and Mike knew what they was doing. They live action is making me sad now. I know, right? I like Loki quotes. I am burdened with glorious purpose. Loki come through with that script, don't he? It says that at the mid credits from Loki's finale, they said Loki will return for a second season, but that was all. No additional details was given. Now, Loki, like I said earlier, is the third of Marvel's TV scripted series to debut on Disney Plus. And of course, we know WandaVision, but that ended with an episode that was labeled as a series finale. And Elizabeth Olsen, who is the sister of Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen from Full House, in case you didn't know, and Paul Bettany, they got 23 Emmy nominations Tuesday, which was second overall, I guess, behind Lovecraft Country, if I remember correct. And that's very impressive for Marvel's first, TV show that they had put together. And it says that she's set to appear next in upcoming Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness show. So we'll see how that all turns out. But I think that it's going to be dope how they're tying all this together. Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness is actually a movie. My correction, not a show. Anyway, Falcon and the Winter Soldier was pretty good, but it had 5 Emmy nominations, and it leads to the next Captain America movie. But you know, it didn't. It was good. Some people liked it. Some people didn't like it as much as the first WandaVision or this one. But we see that that this continued with Loki, and that without they not, this article ain't going to get into spoilers, but a little later I will. It says that it's basically set up for the Multiverse of Madness movie, and it's perfectly set up. The one good thing is that they got all this stuff already in the comics, so they really can't mess it up because they've already had this stuff written out perfectly, and they're doing a great job. Even though I guess you could say that with DC, and somehow they found a way to mess it up because it's already comics written for DC. But anyway, the next Disney series after this Loki is the What If, and that's a cartoon, but it's still, I'm sure, going to be pretty good. And it says Hawkeye cartoon TV series is coming later in 21, in the beginning, well, no, the end of 21, and She-Hulk, Moon Knight, Ironheart, which is about this female that was a genius and got a hold of some Iron Man technology, I believe, and Secret Invasion, Wakanda, to name a few. That's that Wakanda is the Black Panther sequel, is all coming out next year. Man, they got a lot coming out. I mean, they are on a roll. She-Hulk, Moon Knight, Ironheart, Secret Invasion, and Wakanda, which is Black Panther 2. I mean, Marvel is Disney. Man, that was great to pick up Marvel. They are on a roll. They got Marvel and they have Star Wars as well as all the Disney properties. I mean, they own damn near this type of entertainment right now. And then Black Widow, which I watched on the stream, and they do have it in theaters, was definitely good. And Black Widow's sister is going to appear in Hawkeye, because at the end of Black Widow, we see that she gets the woman we was introduced to in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier series. I can't remember her name right offhand. You guys can put it in the comments, I'm sure, and remind me. She came and gave her the file on Hawkeye and told her that, hey, this is who's responsible for your sister's death. So maybe they're going to kill Clint Barton in the Hawkeye series, because they do have a new Hawkeye, which is going to be a woman. So I'm pretty sure either he's going to retire or get killed, and the woman's going to replace him. Is the woman his daughter? I'm not sure. I do remember they was teaching his daughter how to use the bow and arrow back when we saw him before the snap. And then that was 5 years later had passed. So who knows what they're going to write with that. But they got a lot in store. You are not lying, Shock G. And they got all the great comics. And you could say that a lot of writers maybe don't have a lot of great fresh ideas or know how to put together certain things properly. It's not easy to be a writer, but these comics, they did a great job, and it's great to pull it from the comics and not mess it up. Coco, that's right. Her name was Valentina. It was 2 V's or something, Valentina something. But yeah, that's Elaine from Seinfeld, Julia Louis-Dreyfus character. And that's the one thing about the MCU. They get top-notch actors. Top-notch actors. Ever since they started with Robert Downey as Iron Man, who was probably perfectly cast. They couldn't get any more perfect to cast him as Iron Man, because his whole acting style was perfect for the character Iron Man. And it's just been perfect ever since. The only problem they've had is with Incredible Hulk. And Ed Norton, I did like his job in that Incredible Hulk series, but for some reason, which I don't want to get into the details of, he wasn't able to reprise his role and do other things. And so they ended up changing it with Mark Ruffalo, who did a great job as well. So other than that, they've been very consistent with their casting. And the comics have paved an excellent way for the MCU. Yeah, it's a lot better to stay true to the comics, and they definitely did that. Yeah, Swipe Lee, what's up, brother? How you doing? So I appreciate it. I'm gonna put the link up if you all want to come up and talk about Loki. We can. Now I'm about to go ahead and get into some spoilers, and I'm gonna let you all know who Jonathan Majors' character was, which I was happy to see him with a nice role that's going to be recurring. He's got actually a major role. And I know people looked at it as the He Who Remains, because the TVA, now that we see, is actually very good. I know that the variants didn't believe so. And, Loki, #2, the female Loki, she ended up taking him out. But like Loki said, the Loki we know, wait, we need to think this through. She ended up double crossing him and taking him out. And that ended up, of course, being a big problem because so many timelines branched off. And like he told them, I'm trying to protect everyone from me, because we'll find out that who he actually is what's his name again? Let me pull it up. Because his name is Kang the Conqueror. And I also got this article right here that I can break it down as well. So he will be Kang the Conqueror. And it said that Kang the Conqueror, he's going to also be in the new Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantum Humania, because of the many timelines. And then remember, he was able to get into the quantum engine machine to travel back in time and all this stuff. And we know it's multiple versions of him on the timeline, and they all pretty much going to be trying to destroy each other. And that's where the multiverse of madness is going to lead. I mean, this MCU level 4 is about to be dope. It's about to be dope. I'm telling you, he's probably going to be more dangerous than Thanos because of how much that he's able to control. Thanos wasn't able to control all these timelines like that. Now, he told Loki and Sylvie that there was more dangerous variants, and his variants are, what he was trying to prevent from coming back. And we'll see that they say that it's probably going to follow more closely to the comic. And his counterparts to Kang the Conqueror is Rama-Tut, and Jonathan Majors, He Who Remains, is like a 3-way cross between the Wizard of Oz, Yoda, and the Empire Strikes Back, for those that, may not understand what's going on. And he's a mad dungeon master, basically. And so, he's the master strategist, but he's going to be between the antagonists, but one version of him wants to try to eliminate the others to prevent total collapse and having one person, rule everything. And he's going to be able to play 3 different versions of himself. So he's got a really good role. He's probably going to be in about 3 or 4 more movies, TV shows. I mean, just like what Thanos was able to be in, he's probably going to have that same type of role for the Phase 4. And for those who missed it or maybe didn't understand, he was explaining that the TVA was the only thing keeping the timeline isolated out of his other variants, his other selves. And he was actually trying to protect the world, you know, from himself. And multiversal war. That's deep. That's deep. So this is going to be dope. And all of these singular variants, they're going to end up having to come together, or he going to end up having what they had in one of these Avengers. They say number 267, which I'm not familiar with this comic, but it was the Council of Kangs. So, you know, to comic readers, it quickly became a battle for dominance, and giving Loki and Sylvie the choice to take his place and oversee the TVA, or to kill him and give rise to the evil variant versions of himself. He who remains forces the two to finally answer the questions the series has been asking. Can they really change their story and be more than the villains? Sadly, he who remains say we are all villains here. And that's why he kind of picked them, because he said the best people to run it are those two. He already knew the timeline and what was going to happen until he said, all right, right here is the threshold. I knew everything that was going to happen until about 7 seconds ago. And so he didn't know what their final decision was, because he was at the end of time and they were there with him. So he didn't know how everything ended for his life. But when they killed him, well, then he knew, but he was dead. And so he was unable to tell Loki that we know to watch out, because she gonna double cross him, because they had came to that part. I mean, this really works your mind on how this stuff goes. You know what I mean? It's pretty cool. I really like how they do this show. And so, yeah, Loki wanted to do the right thing. And he even told his female variant, Sylvie, that she carried too much hurt over what the TVA has done over the lifetime. But he really liked Sylvie. I mean, of course he would. It's basically himself. And he's a narcissist. But we'll see how it all turns out. And like he said, you can't trust anybody and I can't be trusted. So it's going to be really crazy to see this next Doctor Strange movie, which I'm really looking forward to. And a lot of people slept on that Doctor Strange movie, the first one, whereas that first Doctor Strange movie was dope. That first Doctor Strange movie was really good, really good. And Sylvie did pull a Star-Lord by jumping the gun, just like Star-Lord did when they was fighting Thanos, and it just ruined everything. They could have won with Thanos the first time in Infinity War until Star-Lord messed it up, getting all emotional. So we'll see what happens. You say, I hope we see his variant Iron Lad too in the Young Avengers, or we may see it in the Iron Wars, because that's a show that they have coming out too. And so we'll see. You say correct. All villains, just like the Shy, all villains on different levels. Exactly. So, you know, it's really deep. In a way, most people can be portrayed as a villain depending on who's speaking. So, you know, if you have done some things that you thought was right, but if it ended up putting somebody else in a different situation, you may be a villain to them. You may not realize it, but you may be. Some people may think they doing the right thing, hiring or firing or doing this or doing that, but they may be the villain in your story. So you never know how things go. But you know, it's crazy. that you never know how the timeline and story and who's listening, watching, whatever, what do they think and see? You may think you're doing the right thing a lot of times, and this can happen to any of us, but somebody else may see you as the villain of the story. So you know, is crazy. And one thing that one journey like to say, friendly evil. So some of these people trying to be friendly, but they could be evil and doing some villainous things. I know you applied to the literal kidnappers and killers of the world, but in a way, this is kind of the same thing. And I'm with you, Dre. I'm kind of sad that Loki is over too. I really enjoyed Loki. It was dope. And like Shock G, it really does make you think, which is what is important to have a good show. You have to make people think and keep them entertained and talking in a positive light. You don't want people, because people are going to think regardless. You don't want them to think this is stupid. You don't want people to be watching and think this don't make sense. This is dumb. You want people to be thinking this is great. Wow, I can't wait for the next season. I can't wait for the next thing to come out. And that's what's up. What's next for Disney Plus is the What If series. And let me go ahead and bring up, matter of fact, the what's next for Disney Plus thing that I got over here. Hold on. All right. Let me go to Loki Doke. They didn't fail for the Loki Doke. It wasn't the Okie Doke. It was the Loki Doke. And also, I want to thank those that just supported me on Cash App. Thank you so much for your support. And also those that support this channel on Super Chat. Every little bit helps. I know some people support other channels and things, and it's only so many channels or people that you want to support and everything. But I do appreciate the support that I get. I know I don't have as big of a channel or audience, but I try to do the best I can with what I got and what I got to deal with. And so I appreciate everybody that support the channel and come through for me. So thank you very much. All right. So hold on. Let me pull up what's next right here. Because they got a lot of good stuff coming up next. I had it over here pulled up. I guess I must have went somewhere and lost it, but let's see if they got what's next over here. Here it is. So we already saw Loki and Black Widow. What If is next. Shang-Chi, and that ain't from the Shy. That ain't Shang from the Shy, you know, at the beauty wig store. No, that's Shang-Chi, who's supposed to be the master of Kung Fu and karate, which I'm interested because I'm not too familiar with his story. And I would like to see a little more about that. The Eternals is going to be dope. That's going to have Angelina Jolie and a couple other characters in that. And the Eternals, they were similar to like the Watchers. Spider-Man No Way Home is definitely going to be really good. Miss Marvel is Captain Marvel Part 2. And all of this stuff still comes out this year, y'all. All of this stuff is still 2021. Hawkeye is going to be the final installment for 2021. So we got a lot to look forward to in the next 3 months. Like Disney is like killing it. But a lot of this stuff they had piled up since last year. They didn't release a lot of stuff because they didn't have Disney Plus ready to roll yet until sometimes towards the end of last year. And also they didn't, know if they would make their money back without having theater releases and things. So now that they got it, they got a nice little slate of products to come out. Hawkeye, that's going to be with the female Hawkeye introduced. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness is going to start to clean up and clear up. Well, start to. I'm not saying it will be completed, but start to clean up and clear up what Kang the Conqueror, Jonathan Major's character was doing with the timelines in the TVA. Thor Part 4, Love and Thunder, and we're gonna see he's gonna be back with his with the scientist. What's her name? Natalie Portman's character, Jane Foster. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. What are they gonna do? Is M'Baku gonna be the next Black Panther, or is the timeline gonna make it where Killmonger can come back? Are they gonna just recast Chadwick Boseman's character, or are they gonna give the heart-shaped herb to his sister, Shuri? Moon Knight, which I always thought that character looked dope in the comics, but I never really got into him that much. But with the white cape and everything, he did look pretty cool. She-Hulk is going to be good, and I believe this is a series. Moon Knight is a series. The Marvels is a series, I believe. And Ironheart is a series. Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special is like a small little short or something that they're going to work on, and it's going to come out before Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 comes out. So this will come out in around Christmas, December or so, and then this comes out in like February. Secret Invasion, Armor Wars, Fantastic Four, and another Wakanda. So, I mean, they got everything planned out for the next up until 23. For the next 2 years, they have a plan. And this is what DC is lacking. They don't have this structure and they don't have this plan in place. Look at how many projects they have in advance already ready or working on. I mean, that is really impressive. And this list right here is extremely impressive. And you forget they already have so many projects already completed under their belt. I mean, they're doing this Suicide Squad and stuff, which is okay, but it doesn't connect with anything else. They're like standalone movies, and it's not really connecting. Like they got Harley Quinn, but like it's not connecting with the rest of the DC universe. And I really feel bad for DC without all that structure, but they have so much coming out, and it's just so much dope content. It's so organized. It's all connected, and excellent actors, great budgets behind the projects. And I mean, that Black Panther is going to be interesting, what they're going to do with that. I mean, they really are doing a great job. They really are. And I'm very interested in seeing how it all turns out. Yeah, Moon Knight, underground hero. He definitely looked dope, his costume and everything. And I just want to see how it all turns out. And yeah, DC need to make their animated writers do the live actions. Yeah, because they need to do something and organize it. Maybe if they go the route of the realism and grittiness that they went with Joker, and get somebody to oversee the next projects, like the next 10 in a row, and have it planned out and intertwined. Like that was just perfect to have one person. And Kevin Feige was perfect for it because he's done an excellent job. I mean, there's no movie or project they have made that's less than a 7. Most of them people can rate between a 7 and an 8. And then they got a couple 10s in there. 9s for comic book movies. So it's something that kids, teenagers, grown people, all can relate to and enjoy. That's very hard to do, very rare, and they pull it off. every time. So it is an excellent piece of work, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. You know, they have done a great job. Sally Ann coming through. I appreciate you so much, Sally Ann. You definitely are the Kevin Feige of my story, keeping everything running smooth, connected, and inspiring me. So I appreciate it. And I'm gonna go ahead and you know, since you go ahead and always look out for me and do some things, I'm gonna go ahead and you got me over here cheering you on. Now I'm gonna do one more. Let me get 2 cheers for Sally Ann. I hope you enjoyed that. I don't put on the dress for nobody except for you. Anyway, I appreciate you so much though. And you know, hey, I don't know how much longer we gonna keep this show going. Maybe I'll do an hour or so, maybe another 20 minutes or so. So if anybody want to come up and talk about Loki or anything, you're more than welcome to. I put the link in the description box below, and you know, you all can come on up and we can make it work. You like that dress? anything for you. You say, word up, DC got me sad. They my dogs, but Marvel want that bag. They got them back-to-back hits. Really? I think DC could still make it because they still, even though Marvel coming with that heat, back-to-back hits, everybody knows Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman and the Joker. Still. So they still can just easily come back. Aquaman even. But they got to do it right. You need to keep Joaquin Phoenix. You need to keep Jason Momoa. They got Robert Pattinson going to redo the Batman reboot, which actually looks pretty good and promising. And they need to find, you know, the right scripts. They need to have them sign on for 3 to 4 movies at a time a piece. And they need to stick with the same storyline. You can't have Batman in one thing 50 years old. The next thing, he back in his 20s. The next thing, he's a kid. The next thing, he's in. What is Batman? In the Joker, he's 10. In the Justice League, Ben Affleck, he's 50 years old. Now with Robert Pattinson, he's supposed to be in his 30s or 20s. What the hell? Pick a timeline. They the multiverse of madness by accident. So they definitely need to get it right. And they could really make it better. And yeah, Zack Snyder, he did a great job. And then Suicide Squad. So how is Harley Quinn in Suicide Squad? But Ben Affleck, she was with him in what you call it, Suicide Squad, because he was in the first one. But then they're gonna keep her. So is she gonna be making an appearance in the Robert Pattinson Joker timeline? She's not, she don't have superpowers. How could she be around in the 20s, but then be around when he was in his 50s? But she was in her 20s or 30s. So I don't know. And yeah, they probably should, because Snyder did do pretty good with this Zack Snyder cut, other than the fact that it was super long. And the Wonder Woman, that Wonder Woman 1984 was a big letdown. The first Wonder Woman was pretty good. The second one, although it had great effects and cinematography, the story sucked. So you wanted to take down the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Okay. Your wish is granted. Alistair! Alistair! Your wish is granted. I need more people, need more wish. I mean, come on, man. Yeah, the Robin, we'll see. But Robin's character ain't never been all that to begin with. And then they started with the Robin character with the last Batman with Christian Bale. What was it? Dark Knight Rises. And then they scrapped him. I mean, Bane was a good villain, but they killed him. So we'll see what they end up doing. Hopefully they get it together. You know, what you call it was a great Catwoman. She damn sure looked good on that bike. Anne Hathaway. But again, they just left everything. Hopefully they get it together and they can make it work. I've always been Marvel over DC, but I still like good movies. And that Christian Bale first Batman was good. The second one with Heath Ledger was excellent. The third one was all right. It wasn't bad. It was all right. But they made him, why they age him and make him so old and can't stand up and all hurt and stuff. I mean, I don't know. So we'll see. They all over the place. So we'll see how it works. Well, it was great talking with y'all. I'm about to wrap this up. Sally Ann, thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. Got another dance for you right quick. Pop it out there. I'm a Green Lantern in the next Batman series. The next DC they got me as Gumby. I'm Gumby, damn it. I'm Gumby, damn it. It's my Eddie Murphy Gumby impression. I'm Gumby, damn it. You say I'm a DC man, but I love all, and Marvel is on point. Yeah, and DC need to stop experimenting. That's facts. That is facts. I'm glad y'all had lights with. I'm glad you like Gumby, damn it. Y'all been great. I appreciate it. I got the Gumby for you. I got one more dance. If somebody come through with a super chat, I'll break it out. We'll see. If not, I guess I'll have to wait till the next show. Maybe Friday. We'll see. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe. All right, D Weave came through. I got another dance for you, man. Hold on. Care Bear Stare. What? What? You know, I am Groot. I am Groot. I'm the Chicago Bear, baby. Chicago Bears in the MCU. Look out. Okay. DC should let Kevin Smith run their movies. They should have. With that Nicolas Cage Superman movie that he had planned, it looked like it was gonna be pretty good. A lot of people don't know about that Superman Lives with Nicolas Cage that Kevin Smith was trying to get done, that was very close to getting done. They should have let Kevin Smith run it. He knows a lot about it, and he would have been great. But they decided to move on. And what he would have did with DC would have been way better than anything he did with the Jay and Silent Bob and all of that silly stuff. That was silly, you know, stoner comedy. But I think he would have really did them justice with Nicolas Cage as Superman. Now, this was over 20 years ago, so of course it's hard to think of Nicolas Cage as Superman right now. But it would have been interesting. So they did a documentary about that as well that you can find on either HBO or Showtime. I think it said What Happened to Superman or The Death of Superman Lives or something to that effect. So we'll see what's up. Shock G, I appreciate and got a lot of love for y'all too, man. Y'all great. And thanks, D Weave. Thank you, Sally. Thanks everybody for coming through, watching and supporting. I know y'all got a lot of options and things to watch, so everybody to come through, support the channel, rock with me. I definitely appreciate y'all, because it's a million things that people could watch and everybody that come through and rock with me. I appreciate y'all for making the right choice. Anyway, that documentary was very good, very interesting. That Superman suit probably would have been the best Superman suit they ever had on film. So I saw the clips of Nicolas Cage wearing the suit. I saw the documentary, rather, I should say, and it did look pretty good and interesting. So hopefully we'll see something like that for the next. They should have kept the Superman we saw, Henry Cavill. I thought he did a good job. They only made one Superman movie with him. The rest was the Justice League and stuff. So they wasted that with him. He did a great job with Superman Returns or whatever. But anyway, y'all take it easy. Everybody be safe. I appreciate y'all for coming through. I hope this little Loki breakdown was interesting and you all got a little enjoyment, learned a thing or two. I hope y'all had a little smile or two from, you know, my dancing. And, you know, I'll see y'all on the next one. And everybody be safe. Peace. And I'm up out of here.